Thank you all so much for coming to my presentation tonight. So just to begin, I'm going to start out by asking a simple question. How many of you have ever felt underdeveloped in a job before, whether that be a current job or a previous job? Okay, looks like a few of you then. There was a study done by the Harvard Business Review, and they found a connection between the early exits of top young managers and the lack of their personal development. There have also been multiple different studies that have shown that when managers do take the time to actually appreciate their team members, that three key things happen. The first one, they have better performance. So when team members feel valued and appreciated and feel like they have all the training that they need, they will perform better every single day. They will be able to promote within the company and see the bigger vision. The second one, they will have greater longevity. And so with greater longevity, they'll want to stay with the company longer, so that way they benefit as well as the company, which in turn makes reduced turnover. And then the third point is that employees are usually more productive every single day when they're feeling developed and valued as a team member. I'm now going to get into some statistics. There has been research that has shown that a full 40% of employees who don't receive the proper job training leave within the first year of that job. So that's just every new job that they start. They will usually leave within the first year of that job just because they haven't received adequate training. In another recent survey of over 400 employees spanning 3 generations, 70% of respondents indicated that job-related training and development opportunities influenced their decision to stay at their current job. Okay, and now we're going to talk a little bit about employee engagement. So just to define it, employee engagement is an emotional commitment that employees feel towards their work, their company, and their company's goals. In a recent Dale Carnegie survey, companies with engaged employees outperformed those without them by 202%. And to be fully engaged, employees need to be productively working on behalf of their organization and actually care about their work. So how do we get them to actually care about the work that they do every single day? That is through the whole training process. So that deals with onboarding training when they first get hired, as well as training throughout their whole time at that company. I'm going to be going over a few tips for better training. And the first one is blend in-person training and online training. The second one is provide hands-on training. And the third tip is to allow employees to learn at their own pace. Okay, so the first one, blend in-person and online training. So both of these have inherent values and benefits. A study found that 50% of employers believed in in-person training and that they helped their team members retain the information better. I see this is true in my own life personally. I would rather choose an in-person training versus going online, just because I do retain information better while learning in person, where I have classmates and team members right beside me asking questions that I would never think of. Versus online, I feel kind of like I'm alone within that training session. But 48% of employers also said they like online training, just because of the fact that those team members can turn back to that training program usually anytime they want to relearn that information, and just to go over some certain topics and definitions that maybe they feel like they aren't quite up to speed on. The next point, provide hands-on training. 33% of employees said that they prefer to learn by feeling or experiencing what they're learning about. Hands-on training allows employees to apply what they're learning before they have to translate their skills to their day-to-day tasks. So just to give a little context, I work in human resources for a local company here in Idaho. And I was just scrolling through LinkedIn the other day, and I found a post by one of our team members. He is an IT professional, and I'm just going to share with you what he said. So he said, "I am so lucky to work for a company that helps me to become better. The last week I've spent in Denver being trained in Windows forensics. Now I'm excited to implement all the things I've learned into my daily work. Thank you so much, Melaleuca, the wellness company." So I know that was a short post, but I really valued and appreciated that our team members see the importance of being developed. And I know for our company that I work for, we would not have spent that much money that we did sending those few individuals to Denver for a week-long training if we didn't see the value in that. So just to end, I'm going to go over one last point, and that is allow employees to learn at their own pace. So most companies, they actually don't take into account that every team member learns differently. They learn in a different way as well as at a different pace. So the Association for Talent Development surveyed 340 organizations and found that only about 16% use online training methods that allow employees to set their own pace. So just to wrap up this conversation and training about developing team members, there is such a large need and value in developing team members, and it doesn't matter what type of work it is. Really, it's any company, any organization, any job, they all need proper onboarding and training and further development. Thank you.